Welcome to episode number 4 of Battlefield Fight for Christ. I am Mike, aka Unashamed Gamer.
Brandon here.
Alright. So today we're going to talk about some classic games, some stuff that we played a long time ago as growing up. As you can see, the last 2 episodes we do not have Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey has been busy either working. I think today he's hanging out with a friend that he planned, so he'll be alright. We miss him, but not that big of a loss. So,
Right.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Mikey, if you're going to watch this. So.
It is what it is.
So, Brandon, anything happened this week with God?
I'm just, I'm actually jumping back and forth from Proverbs to Psalms and also in Revelations. I still haven't started that book you gave me about Revelations, but...
Well, you're reading that one that Matt gave you, didn't you?
Yeah. But that'll definitely be the next book, and just trying to stay strong.
Right. Well, actually, I know we usually do like movies and books at the end. We haven't really done books, but let's go ahead and jump to books right now. What book are you reading that Matt gave you? Do you want to give a little insight on that?
It's called Reverberations, and it's basically. It's kind of like the one that Michelle, your wife, is reading. It looks into everything in a God sense. For instance, just a church that has a lot of lights and the TV screens. How if you take all of that away, and let's just say you're in the field and your pastor is there, would you still go to that church?
Right.
Like
if all the show and glamour wasn't there, is your church still the church it is now?
So, it gives you a second thought.
That's good. Well, the book that I gave you is, like I said, it's based off Revelation. And the guy that wrote it, Greg Stier, who's the CEO, president of Dare to Share Ministries, which is a great ministry. Look them up for sure. But he breaks Revelation down into he compares it to nowadays things and up-to-date things like Fear Factor, the show. He compares that show to some of the stuff that will happen in the Bible. So it's really cool. So I think you'll like it. But the book I'm reading is Tim Tebow's book. I couldn't even think of his name. But I'm when it comes to college football, I don't watch a whole lot of it. But when I do, I'm a Gators fan. Just because my family's from Florida, when they do watch football, that's what they watch. They don't watch Jacksonville Jaguars, but they watch, Gators. And Tim Tebow was a Gator, and when I started watching it a little bit more, noticed that he was a good Christian, or he was a Christian. He always had John 3:16 on his little eye things. So I kind of followed him, and then of course, from my favorite college team, he goes to my favorite NFL team, the Denver Broncos, which he's no longer there anymore, but. Anyway, so I decided to pick up his book. I found it at the library, so I started reading that. It's a really good book so far. I'm only on the 5th chapter, but the reason why I bring that up is because it's going to go to the Bible verse of the show.
Okay.
And we've been doing the full armor of God. We're going to put a little pause on that this week. We're on the last 2 things. We're on the shield of faith and the helmet of salvation. We're going to put a pause on that. Talk more about that later. But in his book, on chapter 4, he has the verse Romans 1:16, which is, I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God for the salvation of everyone who believes. First for the Jews, then for the Gentile. And the reason why I want to do this verse, because this really hit hard. To me, because one, I might be doing this YouTube show. I attend church.
Right.
I show the light here, but sometimes at work I don't show that. I don't show that I'm not ashamed, because sometimes I'm not saying I'm ashamed of the Bible, but I definitely don't show it.
Right.
Which when I read that, it was literally like God was tapping on my shoulder and smacking me upside the forehead. Just hey, what are you doing?
Right.
You get it now, kind of thing. So. Just when I'm at work, I try to fit in, and I've gotten a lot better. I've swore a little bit, and that I cut out altogether. But it's just still not showing the light of Christ at work, which kind of goes with saying are you ashamed of me? Mm-hmm. You're not ashamed of me here at church. You're not ashamed when you're doing your show, but when you're at work where everyone needs to see the light, where mm-hmm. half of the people there are not Christians or don't believe at all, or totally against God, where people need it, you're not doing it. Right. And to me, when I think of that, I just feel like a failure in the mission that I'm on. So when I read that, like I said, literally like a smack on the back of the head. Just like, time to wake up. So that really touched me. So that's so today when I was at work, I read my Bible. I read some Proverbs to help it out, and the girl there was super nice. And sometimes when I've pulled my Bible out once or twice before at work, and some people kind of made some sly comments, and I usually shove that stuff off. But today she was really embraced me having it. She was like, "Oh, that's cool," So that's she doesn't see a lot of people doing that. So, and she's also, because we're gonna do another little kind of like a video. I was telling you about this, what does it mean to be a Christian, and she's willing to do it.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
It's real fun, and I wrote this Bible verse on our chalkboard that you saw we did last episode with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox. It's up there, and last night when I was working on some of the show notes and stuff like that, I just kept looking at it and praying on it. So that's what God's been doing to me this week.
That's strong, because a lot of people, they don't want to seem weird that God is their number one love. Like in the classroom when they say, "All right, tell us a little bit about yourself," and they go around the classroom. Rarely do you hear somebody say, "Well, I love God," and it's always about, "Well, I like video games. I like to play basketball," So.
And I tell people this at work, the people that I work with, because a lot of people do know I'm a Christian there. I don't show it all the time. Mm-hmm. Actually, most of the time I don't. But when we get into, because kind of some of that, when someone new comes to work at the store that I manage, I always I ask them about themselves, like, what do you like? What do you like to do? What is this with that? And then we'll kind of get into and I don't go into hey, what do you believe? Mm-hmm. Kind of thing. But sometimes it ends somewhere like that, and then I tell people, I was like, I'm not gonna push my beliefs on you. I'll tell you, hey, this is what I believe, mm-hmm. and if you want to know more, I'll talk to you. I'm not going to sit there and push and push and push.
Right.
But what I need to do is, all of us who are in this situation need to be that light. Don't have your Bible out at work if you want to read it. Don't be like, mm-hmm. "Oh man, I need to read that verse when I get home." If you have time at lunch, I used to, in high school, my shame. My gamer tag is Unashamed Gamer, in which right now that's not who I am. It's getting better and better, but in high school that's who I was. I would have my Bible out at every lunch, or even during school when we have reading time. I would read my Bible, and I would talk Jesus all day long. And but growing up and getting into the work situations and stuff, it's gotten a lot harder. Mm-hmm. And doing this show is a lot better also. It gets me motivated to be better at this, because I'm definitely not perfect and stuff like that. So, being a Christian is not the easiest thing. Yeah. God definitely blesses you in many ways, but He never said it's going to be an easy road.
Oh, no. It's you're definitely the black sheep in this world.
Well, because I'm surrounded at work with people that will totally bash on the religion. And we have religions. We have a couple people that are Catholic, and we get into kind of discussions, and I say, nothing against Catholics, but I say, some of the things you do are silly, which they do the same thing back. And I don't know. There's some things about with the Catholic religion, it's just, woo. Yeah. But nothing against. Some of my friends are Catholic.
I had, you know, I have friends who are Catholics, and one of them watches the show. So, you know, it's just different.
It's definitely, and nothing is right or wrong, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever the Bible says, if they're doing it the way the Bible says, they're definitely not in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just, like when I was saying, I just think some things, because some religions do take some things to a certain extent, where Catholics only do it one way and take a certain extent, and then they look at us and we're doing something to a certain extent. It just depends on what you believe. So, yeah. Anything else? I've kind of just took up a big majority.
Hey, that's fine. That's basically it. You know, I went to school today and got my bus pass and folders and some pens. You know, because I start in like a week and a half. You know.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Because the concert you're still going to that concert.
Yeah, on the 17th.
16th.
Okay. Okay.
Because you know who is still here. She isn't going to stop you from going, is she?
No. No. That's funny.
She's more than welcome to come, but I guarantee you she won't like it.
Yeah, I'll ask her about it.
I won't even do it. Just be like, I'm going to go hang out with the guys. It's a dubstep concert, and she's more into like real music.
Yeah. Basically.
So, no, that's it. That's it on the. So, what do you guys? If you guys have any kind of Bible verses or anything like that, definitely let us know, and definitely let us know about how you feel about the Bible verse, how it spoke to you. We like to hear stuff like that. We definitely love to hear how God is working in other people's lives. So, just because you're watching the show doesn't mean you can't be part of it. We always are looking on our Facebook. I'm always checking our email. If you have Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link to that. Brandon, you do Twitter, but you don't do a whole lot on it.
I really don't. I have about 11 tweets, and 8 of those are retweets. So,
but you look at Twitter.
Yeah.
So if you guys have Twitter and want us to follow, definitely let us know, because I'm always on Twitter. I'm actually surprised I didn't sign into Twitter before we even started the show. But yeah, let us know, because like I said, it's awesome to hear that other Christians are, the struggles that you guys are going through, if we can help in any of that, or even the blessings that you guys are getting, we like to enjoy enjoy that with you. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll go into some gaming news.
Okay.
No. We'll go to
Classic games.
Classic games. So, our show, actually, we thought of this 4 hours ago. I called him and was like, all right, we're doing our show today. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
And we came up with some classic games that we played growing up. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. I just drew a blank there for a second. Something that we were growing up. I know we went over some of them, like our top favorite games, a couple episodes ago, but this one we're focusing on the old school. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about just the old school, and we're going to go a little more depth than what we went when we went through. So, do you want to start, or you want me to start?
I'll start. A game popped into my head, and it was on N64. It's a racing game. It's called Cruis'n USA.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think they had those in arcades.
Yeah.
Too, so.
I love that game, and it was so basic, because you'll hit the turbo and your car just and it pops a wheelie and stuff. But I got so addicted to that game, But I was addicted to a lot of games, but as far as racing games go for the old school, other than the Gran Turismos or the Need for Speeds, that Cruis'n USA was pretty good.
So I'm going to counter you with another racing game that I probably would say it's better than that.
Underground Need for Speed.
No. Mario Kart.
Oh, okay.
Nintendo Mario Kart.
Okay.
That took racing to another extreme. What got my attention was the fact that you're Mario characters from all these different Mario games. Well, mainly it was from Mario. Yeah. But like you were Donkey Kong and stuff like that. And just racing, and you shoot shells at people. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and especially if the person gets a special and your cars shrink, and You're like, oh, I don't want to get ran over.
So yeah, that was one of the ones that were I didn't put it on my list, but when you were talking racing games, that was the first one that I was like, racing games. No, Mario Kart. To me, Cruising's good.
I mean, if I had a choice, I would pick Mario Kart. You know.
Any other ones?
I'll let you go off your list, and I'll think of some.
My first one in my all-time favorite game, and I have this, and I talked about this on the episode we talked about it before, and I have this on my Xbox because there was an arcade game at one time. It's the old school Ninja Turtles game for regular Nintendo. 2D scroller arcade game. Loved it. I grew up watching the Ninja Turtles. I have all the movies. I don't want to say I have all the games. I really don't, because a lot of the ones for like the GameCube and the Wii were pretty terrible. Like if they had more games based off the original TV show, I'm in it. I'm in. There's a lot of them for regular Nintendo that came out and I loved, and I wish I could find them. I could probably find them like on Amazon and all that, but probably at a high price. But this game, the music was great. It got difficult. That wasn't one of those games that you could just run through and destroy everything, but
you could fall into the sewers too, couldn't you?
Yeah. Well, it took the environment. It was like one of the first games I played that the environment was you could use it to, either against or for you. That's it on that one. I love the game overall. So there's a lot, like, just because you could play as Michelangelo, my favorite character. Although there was like 2 buttons, so you could either jump or do the same combo over and over. But at that time, it was great.
Did Power Rangers have a game that was kind of like that? Because I remember playing a video game with the Power Rangers, but I can't.
I think so, but I think that was Super Nintendo.
Okay.
I don't think that was regular. Yeah, it was Super Nintendo.
Because
I remember, I never played it, but I remember like going through just recently through Slackers, which is a video game store, if you guys don't know what that is, that has like all the games, systems and stuff. So going through there, I think I remember seeing that one.
Because I was on the Power Rangers bandwagon also, but I was more of a Ninja Turtles, and I think I watched the episode a year ago of the Power Rangers, and it's just funny because an explosion could happen and there's literally a smoke bomb behind them, and the guy's like 3 seconds later does a backflip. It's like, oh, it's like, really?
But growing up, it was like the greatest thing ever. It's like, oh, that was epic! And then you watch it now and be like, that's cheap quality.
Yeah, like, these guys could not act.
Right.
Like, wow.
I never really got into I saw the Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, the movies were big.
I saw the Power Rangers movie, and I did play the Power Rangers game, the one that was based off the movie. That was the only one I played, and I think I only played it like twice. A girl that I used to hang out with, not a girlfriend, girl that I used to hang out with when I was young, was big into Power Rangers, and she had it, and I didn't have a Super Nintendo because I was poor, and she had one, and we played it, and it was fun. Another game that I have, and I also mentioned this, was 007. Nintendo 64 GoldenEye, which started the first-person shooters. That game was amazing. Playing it on your Nintendo 64 with 3 other people was a blast. The graphics were great at that time. Even the story mode during that game was pretty fun and entertaining, but the multiplayer for sure.
Oh yeah, that was addicting. It's like the maps were big too. I don't know if it was Battlefield 3 big. Well, I do know it wasn't Battlefield 3 big, but
I would probably say Call of Duty big.
Yeah, but
probably a little bit smaller than that because you're thinking Nintendo.
Yeah, but
Nintendo 64. I mean.
Yeah, but I think they.
I guess I can just say Nintendo overall because Nintendo does nothing big.
Yeah.
You look at their Wii U, even their sales are. But anyway.
He's right. I think they remade that N64 GoldenEye version for the current gen. I believe.
They did. It's called 007 GoldenEye Reloaded, but it's nothing like the 64. I think I didn't play it much.
Okay.
But some of the maps that I were playing on were nothing like I remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I thought when I got it, I thought it was gonna be like just total remake, just like up to date graphics and stuff like that. But there was a lot of new stuff that I was just like, no.
Like you should have kept it. I mean, added that.
And another one, I wouldn't probably call this a classic. My thing when I say classic is anything before like your PlayStation 2 and Xbox, which those are becoming classic now with this next gen coming out. But this one's on the GameCube, Time Splitters 2. Another first person shooter. I loved playing with my friends over. The story was pretty fun. It got kind of hard too. It reminds me of, and this was another good game. I didn't put this on my notes, but Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark.
Which is just like another James Bond game.
I don't think I played that game before.
Which next time you come over, I have the original on my Xbox, because that was also an Xbox arcade game. They just took it from the Nintendo 64 and threw it on there.
I used
just
to love
like
the arcade games.
Just like 007, first person shooter, fun. You can play against your friends. So, but Time Splitters was really fun because just the guns that you got, and it was a little humorous. It was funny, and I enjoyed it a lot. But I don't really remember the story that much. I know you play a bunch of different characters, and excuse me, and yeah, that's about it. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember the multiplayer being really fun.
Okay.
Any games coming to mind yet?
I just had one, but I forgot when he threw me off with that Perfect Dark. I was like, wait, what game did I have in my mind? But
well, I'll keep going. Star Fox, Nintendo 64, and Super Nintendo.
Star Fox was pretty
That
good.
game I've probably beaten like 10 times. That's probably not a lot compared to some people out there that love that game. They had another remake of Star Fox on the GameCube, but it was like him out of a ship and stuff like that. It was weird. It was like some dinosaur planet or something. I played it literally 10 minutes and I was like, this is dumb. But the 64 version, amazing. I played through that, and there's like secrets, and you can do like different. There's different vehicles that you can use depending on which path you went. I went every path like 4 or 5 times each, and the game overall was just fun. I bet you if that came as like an arcade game or something on PlayStation Network, I bet you that would be a big seller still, because if I had Star Fox for Nintendo 64 still, I would probably still play it.
Speaking of N64, Star Wars came to my mind. I can't really remember the name of it, but the first mission, you're in like the snow and you're flying around in the aircraft. And
is that Empire Strikes Back game?
I
maybe
think so. You're like, and it was like the first 3D flyer that I've ever played, and my friend had it, and I was like, whoa, like this is 3D, and I was flying like underneath I forgot what you call them. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
But it was a fun game. So. And the last one on my list is Zelda Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, not Ocarina. Wow, I can't talk today. That game is just great. I mean, over all the Zelda games I've ever played, like Twilight Princess looks pretty, story wasn't as good. Wind Waker, wasn't a huge fan of that either, but the Ocarina of Time is the only Zelda game I actually played through all the way and beat it, enjoyed it, and played it again and almost beat it a second time. I'd never finished the second time around, although Majora's Mask is a close second to that.
Yeah, my friend had the Zelda game. I never had it myself because I was always at his house playing video games. So it's like I've probably spent about 20 hours or more on that game, but I've never even beat it before. I don't.
Well, there's a lot you can do.
Yeah.
The fighting mechanics in that game were flawless for that time, and like I said, the story. I enjoyed the story a lot, and the little. What is the little fairy? Hey!
Yeah.
Always yelling at you. I always chase that thing around. Like, shut up! Leave me alone! So that's all I have for classic games that I played. I mean, there's many more classic games.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at Paperboy and stuff like that. But
Paperboy was nice.
See, I mean, I know a lot of you have Excitebike, Paperboy, those games that are really classic. You got Pong and Asteroid, but these are games that affected me growing up and why I like the games I do now. I mean, you look at GoldenEye. I play Call of Duty and Battlefield because of GoldenEye. Time Splitters. I mean, it's another first-person shooter, so that's not good. Ocarina of Time, the very first story mode game that I played, had a great story, and now Last of Us, stuff like that. These are games, and I mean, if you guys are big video game players, you probably could think of something that goes way back to that probably inspired these games. But these games right here inspired what we have now. And I just think without some of these games, without 007, I really don't know if we would have the best first-person shooters right now. Because I've never played a better first-person shooter around that time than 007.
I really haven't, and I was really big on wrestling games too because I was a huge wrestling fan, and I still am now. But back then,
I was gonna say, don't let him lie. This dude, Monday night, 8 o'clock, wrestling. That's why we didn't do our show last night.
7 o'clock.
No, I'm just kidding. 7 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a wrestling fan.
But like I was so huge on wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, then you know the WWF No Mercy. Before that was WWF WrestleMania, and they took away the F because of it
was the World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah. But I was like WWE. I'm done watching, and then I started back watching it again like 2 years later. But I was real big on that, and you remember the SmackDown versus Raw with the THQ?
Yeah. Well, you have them for my PlayStation 2.
Yeah, but when they came out with that, I didn't like it. It's like the physics were faker than the No Mercy and the WrestleMania 4.
The one for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you ruin it? It's
my favorite wrestling game. I watched wrestling when I was younger. I've always, and I still will always like the wrestling games just because they're fun to play. I don't really watch it. I mean, if I want to watch a soap opera, I might watch a real one.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
My favorite one was Raw for the Xbox.
Oh,
because you can create your person and you can create his intro, like playing your own music, whatever music was on your Xbox, and then like go into real good detail and create it. Because that's one of my favorite things to do is create a wrestler.
I forgot all about Raw. That was a good game. It was on PlayStation too.
Oh, was it? I thought it was only on Xbox. Maybe I only had an Xbox at the time. No, well, I've always had Xbox and PlayStation too. But anyway,
that was
I enjoyed it a lot, and the only bad thing was playing with that huge giant controller for the Xbox before they started making the smaller one.
They still look big to me.
We will never agree on what the best controller is.
I don't see the smaller difference. It's
Have you seen an original Xbox controller?
Yeah.
This thing was a brick. Like I couldn't even fit it in my one hand. It would be just like, yeah, it was no good. All right, any other games you want to bring up before we move on?
No, we can just move on to the gaming news.
All right. So not a whole lot that I saw this past week. There's a couple of them. Ubisoft have planned the end of Assassin's Creed.
After the one that's coming out.
Black Flag might be one of the last ones. And it hasn't really said which one's going to be, but it said it's probably coming to an end soon. So that's it. To me, I love the Assassin's Creed series. But the only thing is, it's getting redundant. It's almost the same game every game. Now, granted, the story changes and there's some cool things, but, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, at least, I was going to compare it to Splinter Cell. But Splinter Cell, like, if I had to choose between the two silent killer games, I would choose Splinter Cell. Not saying, Assassin's Creed is a good game. But Assassin's Creed 3 was not that great to me. I mean, we both quit early.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm still on the boat, and I mean, I like that it had a lot of detail, but it slowed me down so much because I'm the type of gamer where I walk my surroundings and try and talk to every person that I'm able to, you know, and I was on that boat for like 3 hours. I'm like, and then Assassin's Creed 3 pops. I'm like, what? That was the intro?
Right. I'm 4 hours in the game and I'm just like, the intro.
Wow.
I got off the boat. I never got to Connor. And I mean, if you guys are watching this and you're like, oh, you need to play Connor, blah, blah, blah. Everyone that I've talked to that's beaten Assassin's Creed 3 said they could have lived without playing it. Now, they did say some good things like the hunting thing and all that, but I'm sorry, I could go play Skyrim and have a better time than playing Assassin's Creed 3. But I loved Assassin's Creed 2. That is the best Assassin's Creed in my opinion.
I've never played those. See, I jumped on the ship with Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, see, you need to play the Ezio series, which is Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. They're great. I never finished Brotherhood, and I've played half of Revelations. But I've enjoyed both, but that's also a time where Battlefield and all that came out. So.
Mm-hmm.
Other news, ABC is talking about starting a Star Wars TV show.
Don't do it. they are gonna ruin Star Wars, dude.
I had the title here. Saturday, this is a big network. So, hold on, it's right here. Okay, no, I lost it. I don't know.
They don't need to do that. That's.
I think it's like Star Wars Rebels. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-mm.
They're trying to. What it's saying here is they're trying to do like the Once Upon a Time in Wonderland and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everyone's kind of doing like spin-offs, like Marvel's doing their spin-off. But yeah, I believe the show is called Star Wars Rebels. By the way, I found these two news off of IGN, so I'm not creating this stuff off my own.
What's up, IGN? Thank you.
But so yeah, the Star Wars Rebels. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I do enjoy the movies, but I know there's some Star Wars geeks out there. And I don't know if geeks. I don't know. Do they have like nicknames like Star Trek, like Trekkies?
I think
Warians,
so.
Star Warians. I don't know.
Trek
Stuff up.
Trek Star.
Trek Stars.
I'm a Trek Star.
But there's so many people out there who's like they take that universe to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'm just like, well, I know Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan, some of the newer people on the newer shows, but some people are like, I know this alien race, and this alien race can do this, and this alien race can do that, and Luke would have no chance against this alien race. And I'm just like, I just think some of the aliens look goofy, as far as I know.
Yeah, I grew up on Star Trek, but it was more my dad was watching it. And
See, I never watched Star Trek.
yeah, I mean, and I would see the intro, and I really don't remember it right now, but as a kid, I was like, what are we watching? You know, you're like this is a spaceship.
Now, I've seen the newer Star Trek movies, and I think they're great, but
Yeah.
I've never seen a single episode of I've seen my grandpa watch some of them.
Yeah, my girl, she's big on Star Trek, so.
Yeah, well, my grandpa watches this show called Galaxy Quest. It's a movie with Tim Allen.
That's a funny movie.
And apparently, you'll think it's really funny if you watch Star Trek. Because there's a lot of innuendos of Star Trek and all that. So, but, yeah, not that big into Star Wars, and I don't know how fans... Some people might be excited for this. Like Star Wars every week, maybe. Maybe they will go into those creepy races. Maybe
Right.
satisfy those geeks. Speaking of TV shows, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Comes out September or something. 17th, I believe.
Okay.
I'm excited for it. Huge Marvel fan.
You showed me the trailer on it.
So that's another TV show that's coming out. It looks great. It's supposed to be after, so Agent... I can't think of his name. The guy that died, the agent that died in, or supposedly died in the movie, he didn't really die.
Oh, okay.
And now he's head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Carlson or something like that. So, but it's supposed to be after the fight in New York because they watched videos of New York, and he's showing the new agents like this is superheroes and stuff like that. So it looks interesting. So I'm excited for it. And one of the top news stories that I have here is Left 4 Dead 3.
What's going on with Left 4 Dead?
It's the third one coming out. They confirmed they were doing a tour at Valve, and during that tour they confirmed that there's going to be another Left 4 Dead. Which, if you're a huge fan, Left 4 Dead is fun. A lot of fun. If you like zombie games, it's one of the best zombie games out there. Left 4 Dead 2 has been out for, I don't know, almost 6-7 years, and it's still a $35 game.
Wow.
Where Uncharted 3 is a $15 game, and that's been out 2 years maybe. So that just shows how popular this game is still and how big of a demand it is. Me personally, I love it, but Josh, that was on here last week, loves that game.
Yeah,
he will play it for hours. Where me, I think it gets a little repetitive, unless you're playing within a big group of people that you know and having fun and you know talking crap to each other. Because one side plays as the monsters and the other side plays as the survivors, and you're pretty much playing the story.
Yeah.
Except each round, you're playing against your friends that are some of the bigger monsters and zombies. So that's it. That's all I have. Like I said, it's been kind of a slow week. I've been busy at work, so I didn't really find a whole lot on there just yet. So, anything that come to mind?
Not really.
Nothing. All right. Any gadgets, tech stuff? You're getting an iPad sometime?
I'm getting an iPad too. I guess it's on sale at Sam's Club for $3.94.
Yeah, that's where I got mine.
Yeah, I was like, why would? Because I don't need that many gigabytes.
Yeah, and it's cheaper if you don't get the or if you don't get the 3G one. If you get the Wi-Fi only, it drops down in price even more.
All right.
So if you're around a lot of Wi-Fi, it works. That's one I had, but I still have mine for PS3. So, see any good movies?
Not really.
You and your girl seen a movie?
We actually saw Waterfront. It's a classical movie.
It was, mind you, if it wasn't for this girl, Jocelyn, you're probably watching this, you would not be watching these movies. So I know this is all you're in.
No, I actually have a feel for classical stuff. like honestly.
Where did this come from?
See, it's like I like the classical movies and just, you know, the whole genre, you know, of just, you know, I'm a classical guy at heart. Really. I mean, I love video games and the TVs and the cell phones. Like, I don't know how I could live without it, but I'm still classic at heart. And, you know, it's just good to see it. You know,
Jocelyn, you are bringing out a part of this guy I've never seen in my life. It could be a good thing. It could be a good thing. It probably is a good thing. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. It's fine. You guys are awesome. So, any other movies?
Waterfront. We watched Casablanca. Do you know that movie?
Yes. Another classical love story.
Yes, that is a good movie.
So, where did you guys watch this at their house?
Yeah.
Do they? I could just see their house just have nothing but classical movies.
No, we actually,
that and Beatles.
No, well, Jim, he did play a Beatles track.
See, I knew it.
But we actually watched Skyfall on Sunday.
I haven't seen that one, but I like these newer James Bond movies. They've been good. I have Casino Royale. That's it.
Yeah, he's a good James Bond character. I forgot his name, but
Craig something.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I forgot the one before him, the one with the slick hair back.
Why can't Pierce? I gotta look up two people.
Yeah, he wasn't that good. I mean, he was smooth, you know, like I'm James Bond, you know, but
I'm James Bond.
But the guy now, he's more on that hard side. Like, I can be witty, You know.
Did you know James Bond has a website? It's called 007.com.
No, that's weird.
I wonder if they have all the Bond something. Anyway, so you watched Skyfall.
Yes.
So any other movies that you've been watching?
I'm kind of halfway through with Die Hard. I'm watching it on demand. Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2? I have them. Oh wait, on demand, so it's uncut and all that.
It's funny though because the fight scenes, you know they have the stunt people, and it's like they don't even bother to edit it, you know, because you can tell that is not Bruce Willis. You're like, who is that guy? And they're still fighting for like 3 seconds. Like, okay, that dude has more hair than Bruce Willis, and then it cuts back to Bruce Willis.
So I guess I never really paid attention.
It is hilarious.
Daniel Craig. That's the guy that plays James Bond now.
Yeah, he's good. But on the Die Hard, I was watching the black guy. All right, the black guy had like a box cut afro. You know what a box cut is?
Yeah, it's like a little square on top
like,
of it.
Like Will Smith had. Yeah, so and then the stunt guy had like a jerry curl. It's like that is not him, man. So it was just funny, really funny.
Movies that I've been watched. We saw Two Guns, which is a great movie. Just came out this past weekend. It had a little bit of comedy and a little bit of action. Pierce Brosnan is the other James Bond. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm like trying to think because I was trying to look up this guy. Anyway.
What happened to him? That guy,
I have no idea.
He fell off the face of the earth.
Hey, I'm not James Bond anymore. Nope.
Like, I was good though. Nah.
No, you weren't. So yeah, Two Guns. Denzel Washington, Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is probably one of my favorite actors. He has some movies out there that I was like, Mark Wahlberg in the Funky Bunch.
That boxing movie was great. Have you seen it? He's
Oh, that's
The Fighter.
The Fighter. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
That is a great movie.
Which I need to see that. Shooter's my all-time favorite movie with him.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
Two Guns. Well, you got two great actors, Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. Probably one of the best movies. It's kind of like action. Mark Wahlberg's a little goofy. Like he's like the tough guy, sarcastic. Trying to be the goofball too. So that was fun. Last night I watched Pitch Black again. Not Denzel. Vin Diesel. Because they got that new Riddick movie coming out, so I'm watching that, and then I don't have the Chronicles of Riddick. Is that the second one?
Yeah.
So we checked out from the library, so hopefully that's gonna come out soon.
I'm so glad they're bringing back in the night creatures.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm like, thank you, because Chronicles of Riddick was good, but I'm like, what happened to the night creatures?
Well, because they were on a different planet.
I know, but still, it's like Pitch Black. Like this movie, where did this come from? It's sudden classic, and then the Chronicles of Riddick. It was like wavy. Some people held it above here, and some like no, they shouldn't have.
Well, it was funny because I was watching Pitch Black, and one of the things is we're talking old games, but this one's not that old. Was Escape from Butcher Bay. Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay.
I don't think I played.
I never played it either, but watching that, I was like, "This looks terrible." Like, I never even touched that game, and I'm like, watching the preview. I'll look it up after the show and show you this. I'm not gonna take up time to do it right now, but that was fun. So I watched that. I really enjoyed that movie. That was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. One of my stepdads, me and him could recite that movie. Like every line, we watched it so much. We knew every line, and then also with Star Wars Episode 1, we watched that so much too. So, yeah, I watched that, and I think tonight I'm gonna watch Eagle, which Channing Tatum about the Roman Empire.
Step Up guy.
Step Up guy. So,
I haven't seen that. I want to check that out too, but I'm like, is it worth watching?
I watched it once before and I enjoyed it, and I don't really remember going over the armor of God and talking about the Roman armor. I kind of back into like not medieval, but sword and shield stuff because I love that stuff. So I was trying to figure out what movies. So I got Eagle, and then I watched 300 again, which is still an amazing gory movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which coming out with a second one, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Like, wait, we got 300 again. Let's go.
Yeah, that's
So.
and they don't have what's his name, Leonidas.
Yeah, Leonidas.
Yeah.
Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
No, Laurinaitis is the Rams football player. No, Leonidas. Right?
You know, they don't have him in there, and that guy.
Well, it's supposed to be like Rise of the Empire or something like that, so it might be someone building back up. I don't know, his son maybe, because he had a son before he left. So.
Immortals didn't have a lot of action in it like 300 did.
Because it was made by the same makers, right?
Yeah. But Immortals was pretty good. I like I can't think of the villain's name, but he was in the movie The Wrestler, and he's a really good villain. I can't think of his name, but no, that was a good part that he played in. But
I think that's about it. We got another animated movie called Paranorm. I don't know. It's like a little kids movie. I like Pixar and Disney movies. Mm-hmm. Although I'm not really excited for this Planes movie I saw. It's like a knockoff of Cars. It said knockoff that time.
Knockoff. Okay. I like that.
But they're airplanes too. So. But I'm excited for the new Thor and all the new Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen the Wolverine. Michelle will not go see the Wolverine.
Why not?
I don't know. Every time I bring up the Wolverine, so there's 3 movies I really want to see that every time I bring it up to her, she's like, eh. The Wolverine, R.I.P.D., and World War Z. Every time I'm like, well, she'll go see World War Z, but Two Guns beat World War Z last night.
I think they have the Wolverine at Jamestown.
I will never go there.
It's $7 though. Like
Jamestown is a crappy mall by where we live, and sorry if you work there, if you watch it somewhere, I'm sorry, but your movie theater is terrible. It's disgusting. If you step foot in the theater, you're gonna lose your shoes, so wear bad shoes. It's so
but
terrible.
It is empty, and
it is. People get shot right outside the mall.
No, it's
no. You didn't remember that? A couple years back, someone got shot.
For real?
Yeah, Ken Buss's wife, Tara, that goes here, was there when that happened. Someone got shot outside of this mall door. Ask her about it.
Oh well,
this mall is terrible. There's nothing in it. This whole mall is empty except the movie theater, a JCPenney, and a Macy's.
Yeah.
Everything else, there's some knockoff stores in there, but I walked around that mall and everything is closed.
Yeah, it is bad. They have an MMA training gym in there.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's sponsored by that guy with the long dreads. You know, he's like the hero of St. Louis as an MMA fighter. But
no, that'll probably close in a month or two.
Yeah, I'm like, no, thank you. But we need to check that out though, because the Wolverine, like they said on the trailer when we went to go see The Conjuring, they were like, it'll be better on big screen, and the guy he really sold it. I'm like, you can have my money, you know.
Well, they do that for all of them. They're just like, it should not be this small, or it should be this big, not this small. But yeah, so those 3 movies I really want to see. I really want to see R.I.P.D.
I can wait on that.
I could probably wait on DVD, but I'm such a movie theater goer. I love going to see movies. Like Michelle's like, what do you want to go? Like, movies. What do you want to do? Movies. Just movies and dinner. That's our date nights all the time. So, all right. Well, that's about it. I think it's time to wrap up our show.
All right.
Got any prayer requests?
Really, just for teens who are going off to college. Especially if they're Christian, and
that can be hard. You can definitely fall away. I've seen a lot of people. I wouldn't say lose their faith, but reality hits real hard when you're not around parents that make you go to church, or not make you, but influence you.
Right, like you go to church today. But because I would say 75% of them, they're trying to find who they are, and it's a lot of bad influence.
Even at Christian colleges.
Yeah.
My buddy went to a Christian college and told me some of the stuff that they did there. I was like, what?
Really?
What? I don't even want to know this stuff. Not like anything bad, but just something you wouldn't think of that would happen at a Christian college.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some drug use and stuff like that at a Christian college. I mean, no matter what, Satan is wherever you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Like Satan right now is here with us, probably trying to shut off the camera or something.
Right.
Trying to make God's work not happen. And even in a Christian college, like temptations and Satan are there.
Yeah.
Just because you're going to a Christian college doesn't mean it's holy.
Yeah, a lot of Christians, they don't. It's like when we mention stuff about that, like, oh no, they're like, I don't want to listen to that part of the story. All I want to hear about is Jesus did this, and then Satan is, he's tempting, like, oh no, so it's good to know both sides, but not getting engulfed into the dark side to the point where you can't even walk outside without just stressing off little stuff. It's good to keep your peace.
Yeah.
Any prayer requests for you?
Mine definitely is just being a better Christian, better life for God at work. I mean, that's my only struggle. Anywhere else, I'm super comfortable, but once I hit the workplace, and a lot of people look up. Now, I still wouldn't say look up to me, but respect me. I think that's my biggest fear. Is once I become more of the Christian that I am outside of that place, I might lose that respect. Which, if I do, then maybe I don't deserve their respect. I need to have that respect from Christ. Him saying, you are my child, kind of thing, and not because that's where I'm going to spend eternity. I'm not spending eternity with this job, so I don't really need their respect, as in that place. But so, like I said, I prayed a lot the last couple of days about it, and like I said, it really hit hard. And that Tim Tebow book, he went through a lot of stuff too.
Really?
He was born in the Philippines. His parents was on a mission trip, and his mom wasn't supposed to survive the birth and stuff like that. So it was a really good book. He's definitely a good Christian and a good witness for everyone.
That's
you
good.
can see it on the football field.
Yeah, he's unashamed, and a lot of people think it's just for show.
Yeah. So I look up to him to that. I mean, sorry if I don't know if Tim Tebow ever watched this, but you need to work on your football a little bit.
He had a good postseason.
Yeah.
When he was winning those comeback games, I'm like, where does this guy come from?
Yeah. But no, I have the most respect for him. His book is definitely, as you can see, changing my life just by the Bible verses that he's picked out so far. So, and I'm not even halfway through the book yet. So
that's good.
But so pray for it on that. So.
All right.
Anything else?
Yeah, that's.
So every episode we've been kind of alternating pray on camera, pray off. So this week we're going to pray off, and if you guys have any prayer requests, of course we always have our email address at the end of the show during the credits of what the email is. You can comment on our YouTube channel, comment it on our Facebook. I mean, our Facebook is out there for everything. We're always posting gaming news feed throughout the week. Bible verses, pictures. I just posted a bunch of pictures today. We got these awesome new cards that we're going to start handing out to people. If you want some to pass out, to show people how good this show can be, witness someone with us, talking about video games, and you don't really have that courage to do it just yet, and want to have them just check this out. Private message us on the Facebook. I will personally send you an envelope stamped to your house if you're wanting to with these cards, because we're not doing this just to be a YouTube sensation. We're doing this to reach out to people, and why am I getting tongue tied right now? Reach out to people through video games and just show the light of Christ through this, because we're definitely in it for the enjoy and the feedback of how we're helping people with getting to know Christ more, or helping them through certain situations. I don't care less how many views that we get on our Facebook. If we watch one viewer and they are affected somehow, some way, I'm happy.
Hey, I'm a happy guy.
Right. So, I mean, even if we don't want to get any views and they're looking at Facebook and see one of those Bible verses that we posted and they're like, man, thank you for posting that. That really hit hard today, or that really made my day better. We've done our job. So, but please let us know when we do that, because we would love to repost it and show other Christians that are liking our page or watching our channel that, you know, that God is doing something in other people's lives. So, all right.
All right.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So on to the fifth show.
Fifth show, and we don't even know what we're going to talk about yet.
No, we'll probably carry on with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah, it's getting closer. Things are still changing on both ends. So
that's exactly why I may just have to